Cyber season is in full swing with our pals Isotope and Native Instruments.
Get huge discounts on everything from Guitar Rig 7,
Complete 14 bundles,
and one of our favorites here at the Cult and Culture Podcast,
Ozone 11 EQ. Go to isotope.com
and nativeinstruments.com
to feast on the audio goodness. Yum.
You can also get additional savings on other softwares by using the code
RUIN10.
DistroKid now also has a motherfucking app. The DistroKid app is available for iOS and Android. You can download it at distrokid.com/app/, or you can get it in the App Store.
Hello, Jazz Record Mart.
Oh!
Yeah.
Hello? You guys do consignment up there? Consignment?
Not today. You'll have to come in and speak to one of the managers. RT or Kent would be the one to talk to. What is that?
Who?
RT or Kent. Do you
What's
have like
that?
a pack of wild dogs in the background or something, man?
You don't allow dogs, you're saying, right? Allow dogs, you're saying.
Not generally. No. Okay, man. Hello?
Hi, yeah, I'm Frederick Frick. I got your number from Chaplain Crabtree. I'm just trying to get distribution for our band.
Did you just call a second ago?
No, I did not.
Okay. Yes, you did.
We're musical gnomes. We're called Wallet-Sized Wildfire.
Don't call again. Bye.
Jazz Record Mart?
Hi, yeah, I got a local band. We're looking to get some distribution.
The buyer's here at banker's hours. He's going to be here Monday through Friday.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just a clerk.
Oh, are you going to stand by your remarks when I call back at that hour?
What remarks?
Or is this just a big hoax up there?
I didn't talk to anybody. You talked to the other guy maybe, but you didn't. I haven't spoken to anybody on the phone today, so it doesn't really matter. What do you want? You got to sell a record to us. The buyer's here. The buyer is the guy who does that. I'm not allowed to. Oh, yeah. Bye. Jazz Record Mart?
I'm calling from Dr. Fiddlesticks. We got a jukebox up here, and we're trying to stock the thing, and it didn't come with any vinyl.
We got some, yeah, but it's been gone over quite a bit. I mean, our 45 vinyls, it's been sucked dry.
Wow.
Bye.
Hello, Vortex here.
Oh!
Good day. What's
Business?
happening?
I'm Frederick Frick. I'm interested in entering into a gentleman's agreement with you.
Yes, okay. And what would this agreement entail?
I'm a local band.
We're called Wallet-Sized Wildfire. We're gnomes, and I think that really sets us apart. We're looking to get some distribution.
Okay. No, I'm not up for it. Thanks. I'm sorry I gotta go now.
We're
Bye-bye.
the only gnomes in the area, though.
Welcome to episode 8 of Cult and Culture. It's the Planet B podcast. It's myself, Justin Pearson, and Luke Henshaw.
Hello.
And this episode features, well, it's an odd one because it features Travis Ryan from Cattle Decapitation. And then we hooked up with some friends of ours, Dave Hall and Vivek Venkatesh, who are the director and producer of the Longmont Potion Castle film. So it's a strange mix of characters, and there's also a guest calling in, Longmont Potion Castle himself.
The podcast actually revolves around that.
The upcoming documentary.
Yeah, Travis comes in as the
Guest
ultra fan, right?
Ultra fan, guest curator. I don't know, like just kind of, and you'll hear it in the podcast. We dive into the sort of relevance that I think, the LPC has with San Diego, and I guess like a lot of bands and stuff like that. So, it was an interesting podcast on many levels. Yeah, just be on the lookout for the Longmont Potion Castle documentary. I think Dave has some tentative release date information stuff happening on his end, so hopefully it'll come to life soon. And in the meantime, after you listen to this podcast, of course, you should go and research LPC if you have not, because it's pretty insane.
It's great, funny shit.
It's insane. Yeah, so check it out. Thanks for listening to Cult and Culture, and thank you. ahead and introduce yourselves. Start with Travis.
I'm Travis, Justin's favorite guy, and we're here with. Say your name.
I'm Dave Hall, the director of the Longmont Potion Castle movie.
I'm Vivek Venkatesh, producer of the Longmont Potion Castle movie.
And Travis is from Cattle Decapitation.
Hi, I'm Travis from Cattle Decapitation. You just edit that shit out.
Okay, so let's start off with Cattle using a Longmont.
It's
Crank. Longmont Castle. Longmont Potion
is a
Castle.
totally different thing.
Okay.
Longmont is no. I'm just kidding.
Okay. How did that happen? Like that was the. Okay, so like we grew up with Bob releasing these.
Yeah.
On Vinyl Communications.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's like a hidden track on the.
I just, dude, hooked up with Bob through doing this really awful noise band. We're actually credited as being Vinyl Communications' worst selling release of all time.
What?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
That's his worst
His
selling.
worst
release?
selling release of all time. In fact, I found copies of it. I was working at Lose Records, and this guy comes in. He's all, dude, I just went to the 99-cent store across the freeway in Encinitas, and they have fucking stacks of the CD. I was just like, you're kidding me. I bought them and fucking sold them on tour or whatever.
Yeah.
For 50 cents. But yeah, so I hooked up with VC through that, and at the same time, Vaughn at Custom Printing, he was doing all the printing for the VC stuff. So he fucking showed me the Longmont stuff. He'd be listening to it while we were working on the album because he recorded the album, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna do this. I did an interview with Longmont for this. Bob was going to be doing this newsletter thing, like a VC magazine or something like that. That never really ended up happening, I think. And I did an interview with him for it, and I ended up flying out to Denver and playing a show. He hooked up a show for me at the Lion's Lair, and I went and played as
What?
Yeah, I went and played as and without the other dude in the band. I'm not sure. I think we bailed or we broke up by then or whatever. But just mainly to hang out. I didn't care about the show. It was just I wanted to fucking go hang out with this crazy dude that I was just obsessed with. I've told him over and over again, this guy changed, and he's changed our vocabulary and the way we talk, the way we communicate with people,
which is insane.
It's crazy that somebody could do that through just a bunch of stupid fucking prank calls.
It's weird how the San Diego thing is strange. How it like kind of feels like he's like.
It felt like yeah. And it's weird that he even has to mention that because there is a connection, it seems, and I've talked to about that. Wait, can we wait?
We can
Do
edit
we?
that out.
We can
Bleep
always
it out. Shit.
Yeah,
That's
we
gonna
can
happen.
beep that out.
Anyways,
or we can just use Gomez each time.
yeah, we should come up with like
Just say
just one
Gomez.
standard.
Okay, we'll do that.
Gomez or something. The sample that you just throw
Let's
in
do
there.
that. The Gomez. That'd be
Okay.
good. Okay.
Gomez.
There you go. And he's a really personable dude, when you get
So
to
you
know
flew
him.
to Denver and
flew to
what did you do?
Denver
You
and
stayed at
just-
his house.
I stayed at his house. We did prank calls together. I listened in, and I think that's where we did the duck decapitation one or whatever, the one that's on the end of Human Jerky. And
Which no one really knows it's on there. I mean, or even if people discover it, they don't get it. They don't know what it's referencing or
Yeah.
where it's from.
I find myself bragging about it. I'm like, I got
It's my favorite part of the series.
Got Longmont.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the way that it associated itself, because we talked about this earlier when we did the interview, like it is musically based, but not on purpose. Like I feel like it's like a thing. Like bands go on tour and they play it in the van, and like it just seems like a thing where like a lot of band people are kind of like connected to it.
Yeah.
Maybe not like directly connected to it, but like have a connection to it.
We got those long drives.
But
those overnight drives, and then fucking, everybody gets laughing. There's always that one guy in the band that doesn't get it, and you're like, oh man,
That's the person you
gotta get rid of this dude. Yeah, get this guy out of here. He's the merch guy.
And then you get out of the van at the gas station, and you're like, start talking weird, just like
bust your lip.
Well, I don't know how to say that, but like at this juncture, or
yeah.
like,
Yeah. And it all the way down to the fact that it even has its own, like the editing has its own, like, I don't know, it's very musical. It has a rhythm to it, especially. I mean, I think that comes from listening to it over and over again. It's got that mnemonic kind of presence that just I could recite half this shit.
Do you want to recite something?
No, because my memory is really getting bad. Like we were talking, it was just there's all these people that like I haven't listened to some of the newer stuff because I'll see people. One of the things about him that's so striking is, if you've heard Longmont before, if you're familiar with it, or even just the way certain things are said, or some of these bizarre names that he comes up with or whatever, someone will post it and then someone will get it and be like, "Oh my god, I know that call, fuck," and then all of a sudden you're having this from an outsider that doesn't know any better looking in. It's like these people are having this conversation of absolute nothing.
You know what? I think that might have happened to us on Facebook, actually. I said something, and the way I phrased it, you were like, Longmont. Longmont. Yeah. I was like, what? Like, and then it derailed the conversation or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've straight up said, "Are you telling me I'm in some sort of danger here, mister?"
yeah.
And people be like, "No, dude, I fucking, jeez, what's your problem?" I'm like, it's a fucking Longmont, never mind. I can't help but do it. Like, it's totally infiltrated the way we talk and communicate and whatever, even on a day-to-day basis. It's weird.
Even the sort of, the Gomez or all the different characters' voices, you end up kind of like imitating those and become making it something else or whatever,
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you guys got involved in the picture, because I don't know, it's interesting.
Well, I had been a fan of Longmont for a while, and Vivek and I had a project in New York City. So we drove from Montreal, where Vivek's based, to New York. And I was like, dude, you just got to listen to LPC. And for the 6-hour drive, that's all we listened to.
Well, how did you discover it?
A friend of mine just turned me on to it. Was just like, check this guy out. That was like 5 years ago. And then, Vivek fell in love, and then maybe about 6 months later, the article in rollingstone.com came out, and I kind of thought, like, man, I better try and make this movie now because it's in Rolling Stone. Somebody else might try, blah, blah, blah. So I wrote LPC, and then we talked, and he was like, okay, let's go for it. And then I said to Vivek, do you want to be a part of this? And he said, sure. And
that first phone call with LPC, Dave, and I was just surreal. I mean, my family thought I was going to lose the plot. I was so nervous, and I was so excited. And then he calls you, right? And it says mummy napkin right on it. On my phone. It said
really?
Yeah.
What he's calling it?
yeah.
Wait, how did it say that, or what?
I called
his caller
display.
ID is mummy napkin.
He set that up somehow?
Yeah.
And so it comes in, I'm like, oh god, that's Longmont Potion Castle.
And he used the
who's
vocal
calling.
rig too the first time he called.
First time he called us, he used his vocal rig, so it'd be like the Dugan Nash call. It'd be Nash.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It was quite surreal.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you get anywhere with the conversation?
Yeah. I mean, it must have spoken for about an hour because we were, by that point in time, Dave and I had pitched him an idea about the documentary itself and how we envisioned the documentary to be a reflection of the effect that his calls have on fans, and he was really into it. I think he was willing to explore the ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, full credit to Dave. I mean, the way he scripted and has scripted the documentary, and also how he's rolled with the punches in terms of, the interviews that we've had, the different walls that have been built around the construct of LPC, not just...
Well, we kind of spoke the same language too, because I come from a background of making music videos for a lot of underground metal bands, and so
Gomez,
I think, kind of dug that, and we kind of knew this, Travis, he knew that I knew Travis, and that went a long way to, I think, giving me some credibility and I sent him a short film that I made, and he really liked it, and we just gradually built that trust. And we, from the beginning, said, like, this is your movie, you know, and we want to respect your vision and ethos and everything, and just tried to gain in, and it's worked out. We've been filming for like a year now.
Yeah.
Huh.
And everywhere, in Norway, London, UK, Philly, New York,
and now Southern California.
Southern California.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of talked about it earlier before we started recording this, but what, like, I mean, I'm shocked that there's been no legal issues. You know, like
I mean, maybe when the movie comes out. You know, like, because in a way we are sort of bringing LPC into not the mainstream by any means, but we're making it available, I think, for people to focus maybe their anger or, you know, disappointment.
I wonder if like some of those people that were, you know, pranked could see it in retrospect and see the humor in it after the fact, or maybe when it's put together in like a however your film is.
I would hope so. And I mean, obviously people we interview, we get permission and have, you know, clearance release forms signed and all that sort of stuff. But also some of it's in the spirit of LPC. It's sort of DIY and underground, and sometimes we'll just roll in and film. Like in Philly, Dave Mustaine was giving
just saying his name. Is Dave in the movie?
Yes. Here's what happened. He was doing. Dave Mustaine had
30 years ago.
He released a beer in conjunction with this Quebecois brewery, Unibrow. It's called, and the beer's called the Tout Le Monde after that terrible song. And so there was this event, and you had to have tickets. There was like 100 people, but we got set up to film it officially through Decibel Magazine. So we had cameras right there, and Dave and the brewmaster came out, and then they opened up the floor to questions. And then I went up, and I said, I started off with this bullshit, like, thank you for helping spread the French language through the world. And he was like, yeah, it's cool, man. And I was like, so have you ever heard of Longmont Potion Castle? And I was just like, what? And then someone in the back yelled out, coaxial flutter. And then people were like, get up, never talk. Like, people were getting angry. Like, I just feel like, and his handlers came up, and like, it was intense, but we have it all on film.
But it was intense. What was great was that somebody yelled out coaxial flutter. There was an LPC fan right there. That's
but so why did he get mad? Or why did
well, because they confused them. They're like, what is that? Is that a beer?
Is that a beer?
Oh,
they asked for their
and you just asked for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
And that dude, I forget his name, he used to have that show on VH1, That Metal Show or something. Some dude, and like, I went up, I'm like, man, I got a really important question. He's like, okay, last question. Like,
Don Jameson?
Yes.
Because that guy, he's probably a fan, I would assume.
I don't. He wasn't too impressed after that.
The coaxial flutter.
Yeah. So we try to blur the lines of film and filmmaker and reality. We try to really push envelope in that regard. And
I think what's become, at least for me, very clear especially after speaking to Travis and Rob and even Justin today, is that this kind of fandom is something that's born out of the digital age. This is not touched by the digital age in a way that we see ourselves being immersed in social media and digital media. So it's by word of mouth, and I don't think it's a coincidence that Dave and Travis know each other, and that when Dave proposed the idea that Longmont Potion Castle knew you, and there was a personal connection there.
It was weird.
And fucking answering machine tapes.
It's
just weird.
This is in an age where we're just ubiquitously consuming and reconsuming this notion, this vacuous notion of what it means to be a digital identifier.
Sure.
What's great about Longmont Potion Castle is that it just takes us back to an era where you could still be thrilled about, you know, picking up the phone and calling someone and, you know, calling them a sister fucker. And, you know, just slamming the phone down. And this kind of thrill is something you're missing now, because you're stretching boundaries of what it means to be transgressive through digital media. And this is taking it back to an era where you have to do something physically. You have to be physical in order to exist. And that's what I love about Longmont Potion Castle. It just brings back it's a physicality.
So what do you think is equivalent to it now these days in the digital world or whatever, digital era?
That's an excellent question. It's tough to think about that. I'm
Some of the shows on Adult Swim is the only thing I can think of.
Like maybe Eric Andre we were talking about.
Yeah, Eric Andre is
although
sort of
he's much more
he does it live in person.
Confrontational. And the confrontation mostly 75% of Longmont's stuff, the confrontation really lies in the person he's calling.
Uh-huh.
The beauty is not even so much this dude and his characters.
Yeah.
It's the response from these fucking people. That,
oh yeah.
It's half the beauty is their response and how worked up some of them get, or how nonchalant some of them are. The bizarre or just flippant sort of responses people have. Where he goes, well, I don't care if you do. And he's like, well, I don't care if you don't care. Well, I don't care if you do or not. It's just like, just these weird fucking...
Nowadays, that's how it is. It's like, in the digital age, Facebook, Instagram, like leaving comments, people love to get somebody else riled up.
Yeah.
And then they get them so fucking pissed, and then they say, why are you mad?
Yeah.
And that gets them fucking more pissed.
Yeah.
You mad, bro?
It's fun. Unfortunately, I hate to say, it's fun watching you, because I know your pain, but watching you deal, Justin, you deal with some of these fucking idiots you have on your friends list. Jesus.
Like on what? Like on
just on Facebook and shit. Sometimes I'm just I think I've posted on there before. I don't know how you deal with these fucking people.
I delete them now. I've gone to the end.
Yeah,
Or I will. That's me hanging up the phone.
Exactly. The block.
But the thing is, though, like I hope that I'm sharp enough to realize if someone's fucking with me that I know. A lot of times it's like just a real son of a bitch.
They think they're. Yeah.
Or like it's hard to like really understand.
He's calling?
Are you calling him?
Yeah, because he called twice. It didn't even ring.
Oh.
It didn't even ring.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
We're doing
well.
great.
We're doing great. I got Travis here, Justin, Dave, and I, and Luke.
Hi.
How's it going, man?
Good. How's it going there?
Decent.
We're talking about you.
Okay. Oh. All right.
In the most excellent of lights.
Oh yeah, superb.
What do you have to say about that, there, partner?
Oh, that's a heck of a good start.
Well, congratulations on everything in your film and that's getting put together and yeah, I don't know, it's exciting. Hopefully you're excited too.
Thanks. Yeah, it seems a little like it's really coming into focus on one hand, and on the other hand, it seems oblique. So there's a whole bunch of thoughts and feelings I have just like from second to second. It's a lot. There's a lot to it. I've never made a movie before.
Yeah.
I just make records, I could think like, it's about the polar opposite. Making a movie, you need so much from so many places and people, and with records you just don't. So, yeah, it's interesting.
I would like to ask you what do you hope like to accomplish with this, or what do you think will like come out of all of this?
Nothing. I have no expectations. I want it to be good. Cinematically, it's like I've never made a movie. Like I say, I don't know anything about it. Completely ignorant about it, about what expectations to have, or even what I should be thinking about.
Yeah. It'll probably be the best film then, I guess, because I guess you've lowered your standards, right? Or you have no expectations.
Yeah, just the visual part is something other than record covers, I never really think about too much. But Dave and Vivek are badass, so yeah, it's in good hands. So,
I personally can't wait. I've been saying this. Somebody has been needing to come along and grab the torch that he's holding and just run with it. And this is, he's the Jan Deck of fucking prank calls. And there's already been an awesome documentary about him. So fucking this needs to be exposed. And that's personally how I feel about it. I don't know. It's the same thing because I've fucking spent almost 2 decades now just going, dude, you gotta fucking listen to this guy. You gotta hear this shit. And that's why it's moved around musicians. You get 5 dudes in a van, 5 or 6 people in a van, and then those people fucking talk to the other 5 or 6 people that are in vans on this fucking tour of 3 different bands, and so on and so on and so on. And I don't know. There's something he put it. I think VC obviously helped, but like it came down to like the punk rock level, like we've been talking about the vibe that, or the DIY kind of fucking mindset or whatever that comes along with fucking. Who doesn't love prank calls, especially It's like degenerates like ourselves.
I mean, it's definitely like a timing thing. I mean, it came out like we were talking before we got you on the phone about how the digital age kind of not screwed it up, but threw a wrench in the whole plan. So it's. What's that?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I long for the days of the answer machine and the cassette tape in it and stuff like that.
I know. Very little from those days, though. And on one hand.
Well, let's can I ask you about your I don't know if you would call them characters, but your different voices or different personas. Like, how is that just like premeditated in any way, or is it just, I don't know, like, can you shed some light on that and how those things have developed?
It's pretty spontaneous, or like I'll just be talking during the day to someone and then just recreating it on the phone or something. That's why I'm so glad we have Gomez involved. He's going to be able to capture all those personas and everything on film. It's going to be wonderful.
Oh, okay. Well, I have 2 questions. One, have you ever, I don't know, ran into any problems? Like, has anyone found out who you were and like kicked your ass like they said they were going to?
Oh no.
Are you grateful for that? Is that like, do you fear that maybe that could happen at some point still? And
no.
Okay, that's a lot of confidence. That's good. I would be terrified. The other thing I was going to ask is Gomez there?
Yeah. Yeah, he's. No, I mean it's something that like people ask. Don't you ever just want to be more combative when people are cussing you out and be like, well, F you too, man? And it's like, no, I don't. I just want it to be an interesting recording, and that would be maybe satisfying for half a second, but
Yeah.
I just play into it to where it becomes interesting. Hopefully, I don't have to be the interesting one. It just has to be interesting.
Well, that's what to be interesting. A lot of the beauty of it is that it's not so obvious, like say Jerky Boys or Crank Yankers or whatever. It's not these obvious scripted characters, and these people may even be in on it.
Yeah,
who knows? This is, there's parts of his albums that are sort of musical, like, he's just using feedback or some shit,
Sure.
you know, like that.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a huge, a very organic nature these things are done in. These releases are put together in, and the editing really, you know, all that stuff, everything comes into play. And I'm as a fan that pays attention to the early details of Rob Crow's editing of Longmont Potion Castle or whatever, like, I'm stoked that it still carried on the same feeling. It still had the same vibe, you know. I know it's just black and white fucking, you know, white noise that is in the form of fucking words, essentially, but it still has a musicality to it.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, and it still has, you know, rhythm and I don't know. It
and blues.
Hey, we're speaking to Bob Barley tomorrow morning about.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Awesome.
And today, as Travis was saying, we spoke to Rob Crow, we spoke to Travis and to Justin. Is there something specific about the Southern Californian, the San Diego scene that that you think has contributed to the enigma of LPC, but also the way in which LPC has been perhaps catalyzed in the broader public? What is it about Southern California that you think has enabled LPC to become so important?
There must be something. I mean, I've known a couple people who just insisted that I lived, you know, in their area, in San Diego area, and they were just certain. They had certainty that I, you know, was from there and stuff like that. I guess I'm just destined to live there. I've always felt like I belonged there, and I did live there for a lot of years, but.
Can you play bass? Cattle needs a bassist, maybe. I know you're a shredding guitar player. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know, I don't have a bass player mind, but I can play it, you know.
You don't play no.
You don't have a bass player?
They need one, I think.
Shit. Oh. What? I don't.
I use kick too. I don't know. That would work.
Yeah. There you go. You just got a new bass player.
There we go. All right.
Awesome.
But he can only do it remotely through the phone.
I can only do it with a pick.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, it's there's like a warm glow in the room here because it's been just since the 24 hours that Dave and I have been here talking to people who knew you and who know you, who love you, and who really think that a lot of the essence of the scene is derived from multiple personalities. I think you've been able to sort of corral all that together, and there's a lot of respect not only for the work that you do, but also a way in which your work has influenced the ethics of the scene here in Southern California. So this is a really neat way of capturing that, and having you call in here today is really nice as well. So thank you.
Oh, sweet! Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thanks,
it's
man.
Like a lava lamp of goodness.
I've been repeating my Denver experience when I went to visit
Gomez.
He picked me up at the airport, and I asked him the first place to take me was the weed dispensary. And so last night we got in San Diego. The first I call a weed delivery service, and they brought it to the hotel. So yeah.
Huh.
Denver.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely have influenced a lot of people. I think more than you are aware. And then I also think that like when this film does come out, like I think it'll reach a lot further than it has ever reached, and I don't know. I think it'll create something new, like a new wave of something. I mean, who knows? I mean, with the digital age, maybe someone will discover something and be inspired by it. It'll trigger some kind of really awful wave of something that will be brilliant. So I don't know. I want to say thanks, man, for everything. I mean, you've definitely influenced like even the way I write lyrics and shit, you know, and like some of the words I'll use and the phrasing. It's definitely got your vibe to it sometimes. So yeah, thanks, man.
Oh. Thank
Not to
you
suck
so
your
much.
dick.
No, it's true, dude. I was saying the same thing fucking earlier, man. You've completely... I use the word infiltrated because it's like, you know, I feel like it was done without my will or something.
Yeah.
I have no fucking control over it. Every time I talk to someone, I call my friend, I'm like, so what are you doing? I say, you know, and I never did that before I fucking heard that call, you know, like I just never, I don't know. It's weird. It sticks. And
I just call myself Luther Manhole anytime somebody calls at home now, and my wife and kids are just so embarrassed. Like, stop that! Stop doing that!
Oh, dude, I've been on tour, and there was a fucking somebody's like Wi-Fi connection was like Grover Knox or something like that. You know?
Oh, for sure.
Or some sort of Longmontism, something. You know, it's bizarre.
My friend got a personalized license plate that says Nash.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's
people...
and what's crazy is you'll travel and you'll meet these people on the road or whatever, because you know we do a lot of that kind of shit between what we do, and to see the reach that it had and how it did fucking eventually reach somebody, but they can recite it and it means as much to them as somebody such as myself that, you know, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I fucking feel like I was there since near the beginning and have befriended him years ago and done a lot of stuff with him over the years. I don't know, it's just fucking, it's cool. It's really interesting, and I don't even think this started happening. I was watching it happen before the internet really, before there was any kind of Longmont presence or people seeing, or before I was seeing it pop up on social media and stuff like that. Like there was, you know, even just like through like tape trading circles and stuff, because that's pretty much how it started, right? You were trading, or you were selling like those 3 volumes, and then what was it? The Barney Love tapes came out, right? And you sent something to Bob saying like, if you like that, you should check this out. Isn't that kind of how the first volumes came out?
That's how I met Vinyl Communications and ended up having a couple of records put out with them. But I have to admit, I really paid no attention to any kind of response. I either assumed that there was none, or if there was one, it was good. But I just put any thoughts I had right back into the creative aspect of it, and just making more albums. I tried to just stick with the program, and I really didn't consider too many external factors. But now I kind of forced to, like what you said about the movie and the reach that it might have. I think there probably are a lot of people who wouldn't listen to this kind of stuff on an album, but would watch a documentary because I don't know, maybe there's some disconnect about just listening to audio. But if it's a movie, then yeah, heck, let's watch this. I think there are a lot more people now that I'm sort of thinking about what it all means. So, you mean 30 years is a good time to kind of look back, and at the same time that you're looking ahead. So it's interesting.
That's a great perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Well,
thanks,
Gomez.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks,
Gomez.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
We're all just blown away. No,
yeah, we're looking forward to finishing up the filming of the footage here in Southern California, and then putting things together so that you can take a look and and we can figure out the best way to represent the story. And oh yeah, I did have something for you, because we still don't know where you're based, and Dave and I went to Norway it was in August of last year, and I mean, we're going back again in May and again in August, because we really feel that those rumors that you're based in Norway are true. So if you could in any way sort of confirm or disconfirm that would be excellent for us, because it's getting a little expensive to get their partner.
Oh, I see. Well, I work at IKEA.
Which is
wrong country, wrong Scandinavian country.
Yeah,
close enough, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So once we can probably take the bus or something up from Norway to Sweden just to figure out whether you're there or not. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. So we'll still continue on this quest, and yeah, hopefully you don't delete my number from your recently called list.
Oh no. No. No, thank you all so much. It's awesome, and I'll see you soon.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
Good talking to you.
Bye.
Gomez.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon. All right.
We'll be bleeping your name out, by the way.
Yeah, we're bleeping. We're gonna replace every time we say
Gomez
with Gomez.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, I was wondering that. Okay, awesome.
Just to be able to replace it.
Okay. Never mind. I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Excellent.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Hey, talk to you soon.
I love you, dude.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
So we should edit it with the what about the real Gomez? Like when he says it, this is Gomez or
Do
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Grab Gomez.
And then no one knows that he's from Denver. Then so we'll have to fuck that up too, huh? And just say
No, just leave it.
Just leave it.
Okay.
It's part of the narrative, right?
It's part of the narrative.
It's part of the documentary.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
There's
more
a storyline and shit.
The more conflicting information, and the better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which one?
Sounds weird, but
Okay.
somehow it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Okay, we'll get back to it when they're done doing the beer thing, but.
No.
Oh yeah, I can do this. Yeah.
Which one?
I gotta piss my brains out.
We should do a shout out, right, to this beer company.
Uh-oh.
Quick.
Shit. Sorry.
Sorry, dude.
This is a studio. This is a. You usually don't have. Oh, I guess this is the. Yeah, there's. This is where the bass players do their stuff. Oh, burn! You got any beats I can?
Yeah, you just got a new bass player on this podcast. That's cool.
We'll see. Shredding guitar player. I'll be honest. Whose is that? There was a point where Cattle was talking about like back in 2006. Or 5 or so. We were talking about getting a second guitar player, and he was somebody I seriously considered for. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not trying to say he didn't make the cut. No, it's not like that. We ended up not getting a fucking second guitar player for another 12 years. But the fucking he's such a shredder.
Well, it's funny to think about, like for instance, like the Cattle CD. It's like, you know, it's gruesome cover, it's fucking grotesque lyrics, it's like real evil and mean, and then there's this like pretty fucking goofy crank call at the end.
But there's always been a real tongue-in-cheek. I've always wanted it to keep it firmly there.
Totally. But that to me is like that's like a real San Diego thing, you know, like that kind of like.
I know it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, like
he does have this.
Well, I mean, even for Cattle though, to have that at the end of their CD, it's just like it's sort of just like a. It's just like
the Ouroboros, like we use on our, just things coming around again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That didn't come until years later after fucking maybe 10 years, or no, not that long, but years later after even meeting the guy.
Yeah.
And doing the call. Like, I don't know. It's weird, because it did very much have a place in San Diego, like you were talking to him about.
Yeah.
And like,
and it was weird talking to him So we can say where he's from, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was thinking about like for San Diego, everyone like for us growing up, it was like Gravity Records was like such a thing for San Diego, and with Gravity Records was Angel Hair, who were from Denver, and everybody thought Angel Hair was from San Diego.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Or Angel Hair and T-Tari, and then the VSS.
Well, you know what, dude? It goes to show how much, because that's the same thing with fucking 3-1-G, dude. Same fucking thing.
What do you mean?
A lot of fucking people thought.
Jimmy Piccolo.
You know, you went through this. Come on, you of all people would know. It says a lot. That's testament to what you guys did.
Okay.
You know, to
Sure.
what you did and what fucking Matt did, and and Sonny.
Yeah. But Sonny wasn't from San Diego.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you ask me, fucking GSL's a San Diego label because of the fucking locust. It's not even.
Yeah.
And I know he was an LA guy, but whatever.
Well, he was a San Diego label for a while, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little. Anyhow, it is a weird,
it's-
like, sort of, you know, the assumptions are interesting. But man, I really wanted to hear Gomez. I thought he would be there when he called.
You can't fuck it. See, dude, it's like someone coming up to you going, "All right, dude, let's hear a Popka or whatever the fuck the Locust song is. Do your vocals real quick."
Okay, yeah.
But the one thing that's interesting about
Gomez.
if you do talk to him about his calls, he loves it.
Yeah.
He might not get into the voices, but
Yeah.
he doesn't really get, like, he appreciates when you get into it,
Sure.
and he'll joke around and laugh about it, and it's pretty interesting.
It's sort of strange too. Like this might
I gotta piss.
get edited out of the some of the podcast, but how he like the like sort of nuance of our conversation was like awkward.
Yeah.
And it was like I felt like I was somehow in the crank call. You know, like it wasn't like aggressive or there was no combativeness or whatever. But like
Yeah.
I felt like this is weird, and like, you know, like you could sense his uneasiness, I suppose, which is in those crank calls where he's calling someone, and there is that like that sort of uneasy.
For me, it's the analogy is sort of like when I first started getting into metal and underground metal, and I would meet and started making videos, and I'd meet some of the people in bands. I'd kind of be like, oh, okay, this guy is the real deal. He's just like, that's why the music is like that, because that's his life, and that's how he is, or she. And with LPC, it's sort of the same thing. When you meet him, you're kind of like, it's not an act.
Yeah.
It's not a joke. That's who he is. And he puts his heart, his soul, and maybe that's why his calls are so great, because it's authentic.
Sure.
You know?
And I think it's speaking to that authenticity. I think he's it's very clear when he says, "Hey, I don't know how to make a visual element to this." So he's as much in the dark as to how this is going to turn out, right?
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared too, because we've been engaging in some sort of Longmont-esque behavior during the making of the movie, and I don't like that. You know, it makes me feel uncomfortable, but I figure
Gomez.
LPC is willing to put himself out there, so
Yeah, but
as the director and writer, I want to put myself out there too and live it.
Yeah, I guess that's art.
This
Yeah.
being said, though, I mean we're all under the gun, right?
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, if I speak my mind on social media, I can totally be slaughtered, right? So we're all under the gun now. So in a sense, we've sort of achieved that state of, oh, let me speak my mind, or let me let me transgress.
But I wonder which
real
gun you're
gun.
under, because
Yeah.
there's one gun that's like, oh, NSA is like monitoring me. Yeah, sure, NSA probably monitors the shit that I say, maybe because of who I associate with or what I've done. But then you think of just some fucking random dude that works at a machine shop, or like, I don't know,
See,
whoever.
I'm curious about the live event that we're having. Like, I'm wondering if anyone's going to show up who is seriously pissed, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think so, but
I don't think any.
No.
I don't want to use the word victims. I don't want to use it, but I don't think any of them really know.
Yeah.
Except for the ones who have been told.
right. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, I
and
hope so.
If it was me, like, everybody wants their little 15 minutes, you know. And if it was, no, I'm not gonna say if it was me, but if I was somebody who fucking, you know, didn't have that, maybe it doesn't matter, or maybe they are fucking just as crazy as they are in these phone calls. We don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But like I was equating it to earlier in our interview to like the only difference between these and like these what do you call them? The fucking candid camera shows.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, or these funny,
Yeah.
at the end, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, is that they've been told, they've been told, hey, there's a camera over here. We're part of this, and okay.
Yeah.
No, all these motherfuckers have been left to fucking stew on this shit.
Sure.
And they're all,
So it's almost more like To Catch a Predator.
Come on,
because you're
who's the child rapist? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's Liquor Outlet.
I'm trying to get a keg tonight.
No, we don't do kegs at this store. It's called the Party Source or
Where's
Cork and
Manny?
Pop.
Is Manny there?
Well, this is Dep's Liquor Outlet.
I call him Mayonnaise for short.
Well, who is it?
That's who special ordered this keg for me. And
First of all, okay, let's...
Yeah.
Hey,
Hello.
stop and let's start over, okay?
I'm listening.
Okay, but there's like an echo.
I need to get 92 beers.
Okay, first of all, 92 beers of the same thing, correct?
Yes.
Hey, why is there an echo in the back? Why is there an echo in the back?
You're echoing to me. Anyway.
No, you're echoing to me. So what is it that you need?
I need a special order. I got a huge gathering tonight.
Who took your special order? This is what we need to establish here.
Are they cold? How many are cold?
Well, first of all, I don't know nothing about your order. So who took your order? Who did you call?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
And I have cash on the barrel.
Okay, first of all, what store are you calling?
Depths.
Okay, you're calling Depths. Okay. Did you talk to a certain person about a special order?
I have to use the restroom as well. So far, you've given me a big goose egg. So.
Well, first of all, you gave me a big goose egg on whatever your information is. Why don't you just come on in and we'll help you when you get here, okay?
Right now, I am on the freeway.
Well, you know what? You do a detour. If you really want this stuff that bad, you come on to our store and we'll be more than glad to help you. How's that?
What part are you not understanding?
What part do you not understand? We don't sell kegs of beer, number one. Number two, I don't know who the hell you are or what the hell you want. And second of all, I don't know who took your order, okay? So, and there's an echo, so I can't understand a damn word what you're saying.
Manny.
There is no Manny that works here.
Mayonnaise. I call him for short. He loves it.
Well, apparently I don't know who you're talking about. We have no mayonnaise. We have no Manny. We have nobody that works here by that name.
It goes over like gangbusters.
And we don't do damn kegs of beer.
Gangbusters.
So there you have it. There's episode 8 of Colton Culture, which is available on the 31G SoundCloud, also available on iTunes Podcast. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for future podcasts.
Later.
Planet B.